when it comes to the Falcons draft, and I've looked at all kinds of mocks and things like that, and we talk about a lot of mock drafts on my radio show. There's a lot of chatter about the Atlanta Falcons taking something other than an edge player, a defensive end, not offensive line. There's a lot of chatter and talk about whether it's Joey Porter Jr., who's a cornerback, Brian Branch, who's a safety / corner, guys that stand 10 yards away from where the ball is spotted, right? Put the ball down on the ground, okay? Mark it right there on the field, okay? And we talk about guys in mocks that stand 10 yards away. Can't do it. And look, maybe Keion White, who excelled at the Senior Bowl. He's played at Georgia Tech. He obviously transferred from Old Dominion, okay? And while he doesn't have a body of work, he did look good at the Senior Bowl all through the weeks of practice and stuff like that. But can I tell you, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, you roll your dice on your pass rusher here before you go picking wide receivers, unicorns, cornerbacks, and everything like that. I got all frustrated by the article from NFL.com last Friday, looking at, building your roster and different things like that. Okay. You know why you win in the NFL? You win in the NFL because you are consistently good at quarterback, offensive line, defensive line. And right now, frankly, we're deficient as to where we're at with that. We don't know or have an understanding of, is our quarterback situation solved? Is it not solved? We think that we have our offensive line solved. We've put lots of resources in. Jake's a first-round pick, McGarry's first-round pick, Lindstrom's first-round pick. You feel like it's going in the right direction. If they can sign McGarry back up, which I don't want to touch him for the $18 million franchise tag, but if you can sign him up for a reasonable amount of money, okay, bring him all back. But for us in the first pick of our draft, for the 8th pick overall in the NFL draft, we're drafting anybody, again, standing 10 yards away out there, way out there. I don't care if they are a shutdown corner. I don't care if they're Deion Sanders, way out there, right? We got to draft one of those guys that stands right up front, stands 5-6 feet from the football. All right? Referee puts the football down. You're on defense. You have a guy that's not standing 6 or 7 feet from you, from the ball. Can't draft those guys that are further away than that. Yes, I like Porter. Yes, I like Branch. I like these guys. But I'd rather roll the dice on a Keion White, who, when you look at his career, okay, played at Old Dominion in Conference USA, okay? In his sophomore year, he had 3.5 sacks. Didn't have anything in his first year. In 12 games, he had 3.5 sacks. And then, he transferred over to Georgia Tech, and in 2021, he played 4 games for Tech, didn't record a sack, had half a tackle for loss. But then he had a breakout season. Last year, 12 games, he had 14 tackles for loss, and he had 7.5 sacks. So maybe he doesn't have the body of work of some other guys. Maybe he doesn't have the track record that even Miles Murphy or Brissy out of Clemson, all the Clemson guys, maybe he doesn't have the track record that some of those guys got. Maybe he doesn't have the consistency. Maybe he was a one-hit wonder. But can I tell you, though, realistically, I will roll the dice on a guy like that before I get somebody sitting way 10 yards out that way, way down the field. Here's the football, way over here. Okay? I'll take the guy that stands 5-6 feet from the football. And look, he's got a lot of upside. He certainly is a guy physically 6'4", 267. Obviously he had a really good showing. He had a good showing all through the week. And look, he's probably going to be the first top 10 pick for Georgia Tech since Demaryius Thomas. I think the last two top 10 picks were Demaryius Thomas and then Calvin Johnson. That's the last time that anybody has been picked in the top 10. And certainly, I don't know if there's ever been a defensive player that's been picked in the top 10. I think the last defensive player that I can think of just off top of my head without looking up any information is Atauchu, right? That's the last time a guy was picked on the defensive side of the football. So the fact that, I know he doesn't have a good body of work. I know he hasn't had consistent success and things like that. But sometimes when you get one of those breakout guys and it just clicks for them, maybe with some good coaching, how about if Keion White, besides, he'll work out his pro day at Tech and, he's obviously been in the Senior Bowl and all that kind of stuff. Maybe go work with Chuck Smith. I got a hookup with Chuck. I got Chuck's phone number right here in my phone. I can call Chuck. I've worked with Chuck. Want me to call Chuck? Maybe he's already working with Chuck Smith, but if you're not, hey, I got my phone here handy. I can call Chuck up and I can say, hey, Chuck, this Chuckery over here. Can you get with Keion White and make him better? Because I would much rather, okay, let me emphasize this. I would much rather roll the dice on a guy who stands 4, 5, 6 feet from the football than to have somebody way out here, depending on even if they feel like that they're all world or anything like that. Okay. And even on the offensive side of the ball, I'll take an offensive lineman. If you told me that we're going to take a right tackle, fine, I'll do that. If you told me that C.J. Stroud was the pick, fine. He stands right by the football, doesn't he? He stands really close to the football. Only one guy, the guy that stands in front of him at center, is the only guy closer to the football than him. But outside of that, while I understand, best available player and all that kind of stuff, to win in the NFL, you get your offensive line, you get your defensive line, you get your quarterback fixed. Until you get those three things fixed, you won't be good as a franchise. That's reality in the NFL. You can't gimmick your way to things in the NFL. You have to be good on your lines of scrimmage. You have to be really good at quarterback. And if you don't get that part of it fixed, then you're up crap creek without a paddle. Give me Keion White before I draft all these corners and safeties and things. I want to talk about my friends over at Built Bar. Listen, you're looking for those, snacks. Your new year, new me. I'm getting in shape and all this good kind of stuff. And look, I personally, I had the stroke back in mid-December. I've cut all sugar out of my diet. Okay, I'm eating brain food. I'm walnuts, avocados, and different things like that. But I'm always looking for a quick, easy-to-go snack. Built Bar has got your answer. Okay, so whether you do it the traditional way, you go to built.com, put together your order, or now you can go to Sam's Club or Walmart and get your box of Built Bars. So you can go to the brick and mortar store, which I always prefer to do. I always prefer going to, the brick and mortar store, but you can go there now to Walmart or Sam's Club, get your boxes, all your favorite flavors there: churro, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond, cookies and cream, double chocolate, coconut puffs. And whether you want the traditional Built Bars or whether you want the protein-infused marshmallow puffs, everything that they have is going to be low sugar, low carb, low calorie, usually only about 130 calories with 4 grams of sugar, but they give you that 17 grams of protein to go along with it. So whether you want to go the traditional route and look at all the different products through built.com, or whether you want to just drive on over to your local Walmart or Sam's Club, there's tens of thousands right there on the corners for you. You can go get your box of Built Bars today. Head to built.com, now head to Walmart, now head to Sam's Club, and get your low calorie, low carb, low sugar, but high protein snacks, all with the convenience of whether online or at the store. It's built and built.com.